Ladies and gentlemen, a new snapshot for Minecraft Java Edition 1.16, the Nether update, has been released. This is Snapshot 20w13a, bringing with it a new Nether mob that can be saddled and ridden, a new compass setting block, and many more things. My name is slicedlime, I'm here to guide you through all of the changes in this snapshot. Before we get into it, a bit of a warning. There's already been confirmed that there is a problem with respawning in this snapshot if you don't use a respawn anchor. That is, if you want to play this version, make sure that you set your spawn at a respawn anchor as soon as possible, because otherwise if you die, you might get stuck or even crash. With that said, let's get into the blocks in this version. There's a new block called the Lodestone. It is crafted from a single netherite ingot surrounded by chiseled stone bricks. When placed, you can use a compass on a lodestone to create a lodestone compass. This compass will point in the direction of that lodestone instead of in the direction of the world spawn. This works in any dimension, but the lodestone compass needs to be in the same dimension as the lodestone. It will point the right way when it does that, and otherwise it will flicker just like a normal compass does in the Nether or the End. If the lodestone is destroyed, then the compass will also stop working. Changes to basalt blocks. You can now get basalt blocks when lava flows over soul soil next to blue ice. So placing down soul soil and blue ice will cause basalt to form just like cobblestone forms when lava is next to water. The crafting recipe of polished basalt has also changed. It is now crafted instead of smelted, and you can also use a stone cutter to obtain polished basalt. Let's move on to mobs, because this is one of the big things in the snapshot. There's a new mob in the lava lakes of the Nether. It is called the Strider. Striders spawn in all Nether biomes, but only on the lava lakes and below Y level 31, with a chance of spawning babies as well. Strider can spawn alone or with a rider, and that rider can either be a zombified piglin or a baby strider. It lives on the surface of the lava lakes, but it can move out of the lava. When it does so, it will shiver with the cold and slow down. If a strider touches water, they will take damage. Striders like warped fungi. They will come towards you if you hold a warped fungus. You can also feed them warped fungus, and this will make them breed. There's also a new item that you can use instead. It is a warped fungus on a stick, crafted like you would craft a carrot on a stick, but instead with a warped fungus. This is used because striders can also be saddled, and if you ride them while they are saddled, they will work like a pig, walk around by their own accord, but can be steered if you have a warped fungus on a stick. If you kill a strider, they can drop a string. Other changes to mobs. Farmer villagers have had a bit of a behavioral upgrade. They can now put excess seeds they pick up into a composter to create bone meal. Then they can take that bone meal out and use it to grow crops. Farmers now also share the excess wheat that they have to other farmers so that more farmers can make bread. This also fixes a bug where villagers could only pick up 4 stacks of items as their inventory filled up. Gameplay changes in this version. Some bug fixes and updates to the respawn anchor introduced in the previous snapshot. When you used glowstone on a respawn anchor, it didn't consume the glowstone, it does now. And using glowstone now works properly in the offhand as well, and if you click a fully charged respawn anchor with a glowstone, then now you will properly activate it. Another new thing with the respawn anchor is that you can now use a dispenser to charge the respawn anchor. Put glowstone blocks into the dispenser and activate it facing the respawn anchor, and you will add a charge to the respawn anchor. More problems have been fixed with the respawn anchor spawn functionality. When you respawn after using a respawn anchor, but the anchor was blocked, then it would still use up a charge even if you spawned in the world spawn. And it also used a charge after you left the end through the end portal. Both of those have been fixed in this snapshot. The blocks that are considered respawnable blocks at the side of the respawn anchor have been changed in this version, so you should not be obstructed as easily anymore. And the respawn anchor is now in the dragon immune tag, meaning that the ender dragon cannot destroy it. Soul speed books and boots are now more frequent bartering loot when bartering with piglins. The nether gold ore will now drop experience when mined without using Silk Touch. The open water fishing requirement that were introduced in the previous snapshot has been tweaked. A fishing location is now considered to be open water if the fishing hook is in a pool of water, there are no blocks besides the lily pads above that pool of water, and all of the water blocks beneath the surface are source blocks with no solid underwater blocks around. In conjunction with this, a fix has been done to make the fishing hook show more clearly where it is at, especially after a fish has been hooked on. A bug has also been fixed where the bubber could get stuck on a ledge while being reeled in. A number of crafting fixes and especially fixes related to the new crimson and warped materials. Crimson and warped stairs, planks and slabs could be used as fuel in a furnace despite the material not burning. That has been fixed in this version. Warped fences and crimson fences didn't connect to other fences. That has been fixed in this version. You can now craft a smoker or a campfire using the crimson and warped stems. Change has been done to mob dismounting of vehicles. They will now avoid dismounting onto dangerous blocks. This also fixes a problem where minecarts could no longer eject entities onto trapdoors. Bunch of fixes to projectiles. Arrows were floating in mid-air after being pushed by pistons, that's fixed in this version, and arrow physics didn't work correctly when a target block was moved. If you used a spawn egg on a mob without a baby variant, then you would spawn an adult mob instead. Nylium could be bone mealed underwater even though there was seagrass above it, that is fixed in this version. And the hitbox of Twisting Vine has been corrected. Finally, the walking and sprinting statistics have been fixed, and the hunger exhaustion of sprinting is now back in the game. Some world fixes in this version. Villagers didn't properly generate in villages. Usually you'd only get one villager per village. That has been fixed in this version together with some misrotated blocks in village structures. Visual fixes in this version. There's a new nether gold ore texture, and some fixes to item animations like bows on your toolbar being pulled back when you used a different bow in another slot. Bee nests are now yellow, not brown on maps, and some fixes have been done to a few pixels on the texture for the zombified piglin. A UI fix in this version, sugarcane, kelp and bamboo are now in the correct section in the creative inventory. Sounds in this version. A bunch of fixes to the respawn anchor sounds. If you charged a respawn anchor in multiplayer, then other players could not hear the sound. Dying in a different dimension than your respawn anchor would also cause the anchor to not play the depletion sound. And the anchor would play the respawn point set sound whenever right-clicked, even if that was already your spawn point. New sounds as well in this version, of course, new sounds for the Strider. They have a sound when idling. A sound for walking on blocks. A sound for walking on lava. A sound for smelling food. For eating. A panic sound. And a sound for hurting and for dying. New sounds related to the Lodestone as well, a sound for placing the block, and a sound for locking a compass to a Lodestone. In addition to all of that, a number of text strings have been fixed, and some stability and performance issues have been sorted out as well. Technical changes in this version. The jigsaw blocks now has one of 12 different orientations. There's a new property called joint type to describe if the attached piece can be rotated, that is called rollable, or if it can't, that is called aligned. The NBT field target pool has also been renamed to pool, and the attachment type has been split into name on the parent block and target on the child block. Data for the Lodestone functionality. Compasses now have new fields in their data tag, that is Lodestone dimension with an ID of a dimension, and Lodestone pos with the X, Y and Z values of the position of the Lodestone. Note that the compass will only point towards these coordinates as long as that location contains a lodestone. A couple of data-related fixes in addition to that. The UUID format change had a few cases where it was not applied, especially villager gossips used the old UUID format that is fixed now, and the F3 plus I key combination would copy the UUID, making the command that you got fail in many cases. In addition to this, there are new block and item tags in this version. There's a logs that burn block and item tag that contains all types of regular wood logs, that is, the logs except the stems from the nether. There's also a non-flammable wood tag that contains every type of item made from non-flammable wood, that includes everything from stems and planks to all of the items made out of them like stairs and fences. Finally, there's a block tag called Strider Worm Blocks that defines which blocks that keep a Strider Worm. And those are all the changes in Minecraft Snapshot 20w13a. Now do remember that snapshots are testing versions and can be less stable than normal versions, as evident by the respawn crash problems in this one. If you try this version, do so on a test world or a backup of your world, and remember, once you upgrade a world to this snapshot, you can never downgrade it to a previous version again. With that said, if you want to try it but you don't know how to, then click on the link on the card on the video right now or in the video description. That'll take you to a tutorial video about how to get and play the latest Minecraft snapshot. And that was all I had for you this time. I hope you found this update video useful, and if you did, please help me out in return, leave a like and share it with your friends. If you want to stay up to date with all the latest Minecraft news, then please subscribe to this channel where I make update videos for every new snapshot, pre-release and release of Minecraft. My name is slicedlime, thank you for watching, and I'll see you next time.